Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Make sure the mic is good. Oh. Set, gotta make it. What we got playing in the back? Complete side note, this is all I watch all day. This is what's on as background, vibes, energy, frequency. I'm looking at these homes, man. I just love looking at them. I just love looking at these homes. I love seeing the details on how some of these extravagant homes are put together, the masonry, right? Everything. Just people, I like it. I like it. So maybe that's the manifesting energy that I put out there. But whatever it is, this is what's typically playing in the background. If it's not I used to do the coffee lounge. You know, you do the coffee lounge with the music in the background and whatnot. But yeah, this is just the energy that's usually on. So y'all could check it out as well while we're on the show. So we got a lot to discuss. Let me first see who's tapping in bright and early on this Wednesday AM. Grand Rising to all. We got Big Bro Finn tapping in. Let each thing you do be done with purpose. Live with integrity, even if others do not. Finn, you want to know why that last part of that hit so hard? Live with integrity, even if others do not. I'm seeing a lot of people on these posts when I'm giving my opinion on Greenland, Venezuela, and a lot of people are justifying. This is how a lot of people's minds are working. A lot of people are justifying, hey, we need to take Greenland or we need to take Venezuela because if they were as strong as us, they would do it to us. Or we need to take Greenland because China would do it if they could. And it's like, wait, what? Like, that's really what, like, the mindset of Americans, that's really the mindset of just society, maybe in general right now. So let each thing you do be done with purpose. Live with integrity, even if others do not. Justifying something because of somebody else, that's probably the least manly thing that you can do. As a man, you stand on your principles, your values. You don't adjust them based on how somebody else is behaving. Just my opinion. What's good, Glay?
What's good, Glay?
How's everything?
Man, set it off. Hit that shower like y'all told me to do.
Ooh, Glay coming in strong today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you seen some, matter of fact, side note, I'm all over the place, I know, but have you seen some of these reactions to the Miami banning or the global banning of Fuentes?
No, what's been the response? No, I haven't seen one thing.
All right, so real quick, I didn't want to play any videos based on it, but your boy Tate done curled up, man. He went on Patrick Bet-David's show yesterday and just pretty much blamed it on everybody else, saying I didn't want to be there. He said Sneeko put the song on. Like, it was Sneeko who put the song on. Tristan and I, we didn't even want to be there. Like, we were upset that they put the song on. And it's like, it's wild to hear because on one end of it, he's saying like, look, y'all are upset with me because a song was played, like a song, you know, all these other songs that are played, nobody seems to have issues with. But a song was played that pretty much says all my N-words are N-words. You know what I mean? All my black people are Hitler people. You know, you kind of do the math. And it's like, that's what we're really like having an international problem about. That's what we have the mayor upset, you know, all these different things. And it's almost, he trivialized it on one end, but then said like, well, yeah, it was Sneeko. You know, like Sneeko, I really don't like him anyway. And just throwing him under the bus, throwing him smooth under the bus. And the only person that he really came out and supported was Myron, saying like, look, Myron's my friend. We're close friends. You know, I'll leave it at that. You know, Myron can defend his actions. And I'm like, bro, when we're looking at it, Myron's the one doing the salute out here.
He turned.
But yeah, Tate, man.
Folded like he did.
Folded, bro. Folded. Straight folded, man.
Built a cult following, and then
folded.
Him folded,
bro.
Come on,
folded. And you're allowed to change your opinion. You know what I'm saying on something.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. But he folded, bro. Like when you're throwing other people under the bus, address your shortcomings. Address where you would have done something wrong.
Yeah.
He said, I couldn't have done anything differently. Like what could I have done?
Yeah, you snitch him at this point,
bro. And so did the other dude, Justin Waller, that was in the video. But yeah,
the real estate guy.
Yeah. Oh, that's what he is. That's what he does. Okay.
He does
because and that's what makes sense because there are a lot of they're like, yeah, you know, he pretty much said Sneako's doing this and putting everybody else in a bad position because we have a lot more to lose than him and stuff. And that's what it comes down to. You worried about what you got to lose, not what you got to gain, not what you got to stand on. But I honestly think it's all going to backfire because I didn't even know that was that song until y'all amped it up. And now what I think is going to happen, and this is what I kind of was talking about yesterday with the silent minority, when people don't speak out, right? And now you have what Nick and them did or Sneeko and them did, and now you have the mayor come out. Based on the people, now it's like you feel like you got these, it's like we're
polarizing side
candidate. Like now we may not totally align with this group. We may not totally align with this. I'm going to choose the lesser of two evils, like who I align with the most.
Yeah.
And these young people, I don't think they're leaning on the side of the mayor.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So now just watch this next weekend in the clubs. Guess what song will be playing? This is just my prediction. Mm-hmm. Guess what song is now, when they look at Kanye's, I don't know how they do the statistics on all this stuff. I would not be surprised if that song now takes off. And I think it's banned on YouTube. I don't know where else it's banned.
That's why I heard it YouTube.
Yeah. So I don't know where it'll take off, but I'm pretty sure. Like that's just my prediction. I don't know. I shouldn't say I'm pretty sure, but that's my prediction as far as the song taking off. But it just. We're gonna talk about a bunch of things related to it. We may touch back on that. I didn't want to show all of the responses. I mean, Myron, you said you didn't see him. He came out and he was like non-apologetic. He came out dressed like a stereotypical. I think he was trying to dress like a stereotypical rabbi, dancing to that $7,000 shekel song.
What's that song?
Well, matter of fact, I'll play. Hold on.
Why don't you play both songs?
I ain't playing this, bro. He tried it like, bro, you joking. I wasn't looking at the camera, so I didn't know whether you was joking or not. Nah, we not, cause you want to know why? It's like at a certain point, I think even Sneeko said, so Sneeko actually called out Myron for this, I believe. And he said, like, bro, this isn't helping. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just making us look like fools. And he said it again about this. Let me put it up. Mm-hmm. Let me pull it up. I was not, and people probably saying he wasn't going to play, but he had it on standby. Yeah, I did have it on standby, but I didn't even know if we were going to get into this conversation. I don't want to play the, Knicks. You guys, man, now I feel like I'm moving like Candace. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm grifting like Candace, but yeah, this is how he started off his show, bro. And I didn't even realize, and I don't know if these dance moves are supposed to be symbolic of something, because I didn't even really watch the video. But yeah, that's all you really need to see. I don't know what else happens after that, but I think it just goes back to, if the more logical, and I'm not even saying who's wrong, who's right, quote unquote, but if the more logical people don't get engaged in this conversation, it's going to get extreme. Yeah. It's going to get radical and extreme.
This will be the norm.
It's going to get extreme. And the norm, what does it consist of? It consists of Myron, right? But Myron's legally, is Myron doing anything wrong?
No. Now,
the mayor, in my opinion, that has to be illegal. Him sending sending police officers to people's cribs because you didn't like the post that they put up on social media that didn't even have any cursing, didn't even have anything anti-Semitic in it, nothing. And you sending police officers, that has to be somewhat illegal. I don't know, but it just feels illegal. It feels like this is an abuse of power. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So now we're in this weird position.
Yeah.
We're in this weird position. So let me finish up with these. I'm catching up with everybody. Got Finn with a BK. Say that first word. Pronounce that first word.
Is it apathy?
Apathy. All right. Just me. Yeah.
I might be wrong. Though.
Huh?
I might be wrong.
Nah. That's what I was gonna say. So hopefully, put you on the spot. Apathy doesn't create neutrality; it creates a vacuum. When capable, and I'm laughing because who was the person that Maya was just showing me? I think it was Cam Newton that couldn't say one of these words. I forget what it was, and he got called out on his show like, spell it. Apathy doesn't create neutrality, it creates a vacuum. When capable people disengage, less capable voices fill the space. Show up, think clearly, think responsibly. Wow, I didn't even know. Yo, Finn becoming, hold up, when did Finn write this? Finn wrote this at 8. And literally that quote that's exactly what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. When the less logical people, like, and I'm not saying right and wrong. I'm not, you can, whatever. That's not the argument. What I'm saying is when the more reasonable people who just maybe want to debate the right and wrong in a different way compared to perhaps people that may be a little bit more radical or a lot more radical, until that happens, we're going to be in a weird place. I feel like a weird place. It happens in politics. It happens in religion. It happens in every aspect. It happens science beefing with this. You know what I'm saying? It happens with every single thing that we see. We just need a little bit more, maybe more woosah to the table. Shout out to Big Bro Steve tapping in early. Good morning, brothers and sisters. The dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. Mm-hmm. Love that, Big Bro. Yes, everybody, please take a second to hit that like button as you're joining. Y'all know we like to get as many different people in the building as possible. It helps the algorithm. We need different perspectives here. The more perspectives as possible, I think it gives us, when we talk about balance, that's the type of balance we need. Perspective from people from various backgrounds. So Love Like Lucy said, America will acquire Greenland regardless of what they want. And it's funny. So I got a couple different posts to put up, or a couple different videos for us to review about Greenland. I put up a video yesterday on Sean Hannity. So apparently the offer, I don't know if it's what else it is, but it's $5.6 billion to just the residents of Greenland, which would give, I think, 56,000 people $100,000 a piece. That's the offer. And I actually put up a post saying, like, I like this strategy because now you're offering people. Well, we'll get into it when we offer, but you have to offer people something. You can't just say you're going to take something from somebody. Now, if you offer something and they say no, you got to figure that out on your own. So, wait, hold up. I feel like. Oh, I was about to say, we don't have ads on YouTube. I'm over here seeing ads and stuff on the YouTube channel. Let me turn this off, man. Now they doing too much. This is my boy Enos. But yeah, let me keep going. All right, shout out to Uncle in the building. Grand Rising and good morning, Steve, Finn. Good morning, nephew. Good morning. Fear is an emotion that you can overcome. Hatred is a learned trait. Free your mind by rising above all that is negative. Love it, love it, love it. See, Socks for Free says, okay, let's just take it for free. What you think about that?
Damn, just snatch that shit.
What if I just came and snatched your crib? What if I came and snatched your girl? Like, do we not have any morals and principles when it comes to this stuff? Like, and it's always, you know what's so funny to me? It's like the people who are the most bold are like, bro, you wouldn't take anything from anybody in your real life. But now you just feel emboldened because you're with America and America's the big bully. So now you feel emboldened to have all these strong opinions about going to take somebody else's stuff. It's just weird to me. Shout out to Dutch in the building. Shout out to Dutch. Let's keep it moving. We got Manchi May. I'd like to join your live whenever you're streaming. Appreciate it. Definitely tap in. Add me on Discord. Actually, you're going to have to join our Discord. That's how it's going to go. But I will leave the link of the Discord in the chat. Please, anybody who's looking to engage in some more deeper conversations, definitely tap into the Discord. Glad you could take it over real quick. I just want to turn down the heat real quick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like this one by you. Everybody want to drink wine, but don't nobody want to bust grapes.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. It's a subtle, simple flow.
I like that.
For sure. For the ones that are already in the chat, we got the Discord up here pinned. Feel free to go ahead and tap in, join. Super easy. Just hit that. If you don't already have it downloaded, it'll prompt you to download the Discord app, and then you will be accepted into our private server where we continue these type of conversations and even get more in depth and more explicit. So be ready for sure. Critical thinking, good to see you in the building. So who would we rather have in charge of world trade, BRICS or America?
Bro, this is the energy that I just can't rock with, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this either or. It's like, who would you rather have in charge of the world, America or China? So let's say if China makes a deal with another country, if China's looking to acquire another country or make a deal with another country, then America should just say, oh no, who would you rather have in charge of that area, America or China? So we should just go take it. It's like the justification of the colonizing mind. Like it never ceases to amaze me how people just have zero principles, zero values, zero moral compass when it comes to this stuff. Mm-hmm. You can't just take other people's stuff. Do we need to go back to the first quote that Finn put up?
Oh, I thought you was going to say, do we need to go back to the first grade?
Maybe, because clearly we didn't learn that, hey, that's somebody else, that's Johnny's toy. You can't just take it because you're bigger than Johnny.
Yeah.
It's like, damn. Like it's insane to me, bro. It is insane the amount of, a lot of people say that, you always hear these quotes like, the majority of people are good people, good, decent people. Bro, I don't know. I don't know what the energy is right now, because the things that I hear right now, that doesn't sound like good energy to me. Mm-hmm. It doesn't sound like good energy to me. And when people start trying to justify things, it's almost like, hey, I'm gonna steal this from this kid at school. Well, would you rather the other kid steal it, or would you want to steal it? It's like, wait, what? Like, that's really the logic that we're moving with in 2026? Like, God need to flood this thing, man. I'll be honest. He need to flood this thing. Mm-hmm. Look at what Omni wrote.
Yeah.
This is exactly the point. Is this how you raise your kids, to just take stuff and not share? Be nice to others and show fairness. Like, at what point, like, let me ask y'all this. For all the people that have this type of energy, who hurt y'all growing up? Like, clearly there had to be something along the way where you got hurt to the point where now you have no problem hurting somebody else, or you just feel the need to just bully somebody else. Like, what? Like, I don't wake up feeling like that. Mm-hmm. Like, y'all should have played football or something, or go box, or go do something. And no matter what age you are, go get that aggressive energy out somewhere else. Yeah. Go get that aggressive energy out in another way. And then this is what they'll say. Tell me you don't understand world affairs without telling me. Okay, you understand it, Finn. You understand. I mean, not Finn. You understand it, Critical. You understand it, Critical. These boom. Man, I can't. You understand it so much. You should start a channel. You should start a channel. Like, it's embarrassing, bro. This is just how world affairs works. This is just how the law of the jungle works. Okay. All right, brother. All right. Have that same energy when you're not America. Have that. Everybody got this bullying energy when it's America. You're only a bully because you're the biggest. That's the only reason why you got this bullying energy. It's cowardly. It's cowardly. This is crazy, bro. It's crazy, but it is what it is. I guess, are we surprised? No, are we surprised?
When you create, what are they? You create these tough times, create, you know what I mean? It's that whole concept. And so when you give people an easy life, what are these people weren't fighting for their freedoms. They weren't fighting for stability, structure. These people have been living an easy life. So of course, this is what it creates: entitlement. Then creates people believe that they deserve things just because they exist on this earth, and that's the colonizing mentality. And hey, they know better.
Honest,
remember, it's 26.
I'm gonna be honest.
26 niggas know. Nigga cats know, bro.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, and if that's your energy, I don't even know if you need to be here, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say that for everybody. If you have this colonizing mindset where you think that we could just take other people's stuff just because we're stronger, I don't know if this is the channel for you. I don't I welcome all, of course we welcome all perspectives and stuff like that, not telling anybody to leave, anything like that. But I don't know if this is it for you. Why don't you go fight a battle or something? Go in your backyard, in the country, in the backwoods, go beef with somebody. Like, take that energy somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been a huge fan.
Low fruit channel. Yeah, but you tapping in. Being a tough guy in the comments. like, bro, you like almost 60 years old. You need to grow up, bro. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. And I'm sorry to be personal with it, but I have a problem with that mindset, bro. I have a very big problem with that mindset. I don't understand it. This bullying nature that we're just so accustomed to, I'm not with that, bro. I'm not with that.
To be honest, he not with that.
What you mean?
In the sense, like, what, he ain't done nothing like that.
Yeah, just talking tough in comments, bro.
Like, he don't live a thug life. He wasn't bullying people. He wasn't spinning on nobody. He saw the internet allowed him 150 characters to present himself as somebody he always wanted to be in real life. Don't nobody look at him like that. Don't nobody look at him on some gangster shit. To be honest, if America didn't let you in, allow you to be here free will and not actually put in no work, you wouldn't even be able to rep the flag that you claim you repping. You ain't put in no work for nobody. You just paid taxes. So this is the entitlement. People think because they paid a couple taxes for 50, 60 years, now they're attached to America. That's what America create. That's why they violate so many of the Americans, because they realize, look, we gonna do whatever we want with them. And look how they start acting when they have free will. Look at it. They don't even know how to play correctly. They don't even know how to use the golden rule. They're going to find a way to just fight, et cetera, et cetera. But to be honest, guys like Critical are the minority. People don't even notice them. They don't see them. If they didn't have a YouTube section or a channel to speak, believe me, their voices would never have been heard. And it's just going to be like that. So when people go out of their way to try to find an opportunity for their voices to finally be heard outside of the echo chamber in their home, where they sit peacefully or by themselves with nobody else to support their argument, with no following, nobody supporting, no viewers at 8:00 a.m., there's a reason for that, my boy. So I don't even trip on nobody like that.
I appreciate that reminder, Glay. I appreciate that reminder. And it's funny how the people he claim he hate Nick Fuentes the most, he seemed to be sounding just like him on these topics. So, but we'll leave it there. I don't want to get too caught up in that. But that's just something that bro, that's that type of energy should be shut down, by all means, bro. Because all it is just letting. What we got today, Glay? What we got? First and foremost, how's your day, man? You got anything to catch up on yesterday? Anything you did throughout the day that you want to touch on, or you want to just get right into it?
Shit, I ain't do nothing really, no motion for real. Yeah, we can get right into it.
All right, so this was one of the first videos. So speaking of Greenland, let's get into this conversation. I saw this video yesterday, and I think it's a total of 3 videos that we'll go through. We'll start with this one. Hold on one second. Let's see. All right, we got it on the screen. There we go. All right, y'all let me know y'all thoughts, man. So this was the first video. Then we're gonna play what Greenland, like a representative of Greenland, actually is standing on. And I believe they've been having like a bunch of rallies against America, basically saying nah, we're not for sale.
which is not exactly a smart position for them to take. President Trump is now
Is it loud enough for you, Clay?
up to $100,000.
Yeah, I can hear, but it might need to be a little bit louder. What y'all think, chat?
56,000 residents in Greenland, and he wants to actually activate the economy of the island and let its citizens benefit and capitalize on the vast natural resources. Only the U.S. can do this, giving residents there a chance to build real significant wealth, every one of them. Meanwhile, which is not exactly a smart position for them to take. President Trump is now considering offering up to $100,000 per resident. There's a little over 56,000 residents in Greenland, and he wants to actually activate the economy of the island and let its citizens benefit and capitalize on the vast natural resources. Only the U.S. can do this, giving residents there a chance to build real significant wealth.
You see how they paint the picture?
They made it seem like they was giving them water and they was in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, they paint the picture in a certain way where it's like, yo, we the only ones that can provide this to you. And once again, I have no problem with this. If somebody wants to make a sales pitch, and if they want to sell, then that's perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. But the issue is, I guess now if they say no, we go back to what Trump said earlier, which was we're going to take it one way or another.
Phase 2 is, we're going to fly.
Phase 2, hey, we made an offer. You know, we thought it was an offer they can't refuse, but clearly they refused it.
And the phase 2, we got to come get that thing for free then.
Hey, move into phase 2.
Yeah. Over and out.
So let me so this is what, let me actually play the other video first. I'll play the Greenland. So this is a former, what is she? The former, I don't know, Greenland MP. I don't even know what MP means. Hold on. So this is, listen to what she's saying regarding it. You guys tell me what your thoughts are.
So I think Trump doesn't know about Greenlandic people. We don't really value cash and Kardashian lips and fake boobs and stuff like that very highly. Actually, you cannot even own land in Greenland. You can get an allotment for your house and then you own the house on top of the land. But Greenlanders don't believe in the land is for one person, is for everyone. It's a big miscalculation that he thinks that Greenlanders would be incited by cash or something like that. We're not. And even if you were to say like $100,000 per person or something like that, we wouldn't give up free healthcare. We wouldn't give up free education. We wouldn't give up being a part of Europe. We wouldn't give up on our sovereignty. We're a very sovereign people within the Kingdom of Denmark. We're autonomous right now. We do not want to be rich like the Americans are. See how greedy they are. They're even trying to shoot their friends or invade their friends just for greed. And we know that there's minerals and oils possibly in our underground, and that's worth so much more even than that. But even if we didn't have that, we would still not be bought. Everyone here knows about the Inuit in Alaska and all of the native tribes, Indians, American Indians who are there. Their land was taken from them and they haven't been treated that well in America. And we know that Trump is very much surrounding himself, at least with the white power people. And we are not white, as you can see. We are of color. And so we know our rights probably would be taken away. And we also know that we're very good as we are together with Denmark. As mentioned before, we have free healthcare, we have free study. Whatever you want to study, you can do that for free. And actually, government will give you money to study. So while you're studying, you're getting a grant from your government. So all of that we wouldn't trade for, like the welfare state. We wouldn't trade for anything in America.
Oh,
so it's so funny, and the reason why my fault, like go.
No. I was just gonna say, like, damn, they just sound such nice people, like with just good moral compass. Like, damn,
compared to Americans,
yeah, you don't hear this. You don't hear this position often. Like, oh no, we're not really off all that money, man. We're good. Crazy.
Yeah. What's so funny to me is, so you get comments like this. I'm assuming that this person is American. Greenland is owned by Denmark and Denmark is exploiting them. So you're speaking that, saying that Denmark is exploiting them. If they don't feel that way, then who are you to say Denmark's exploiting them, so therefore we should just, we should take them over? Mm-hmm. Like, is America, like, has America shown that we would do anything differently?
Yeah, has America shown that they don't exploit?
Right. What country that has been exploited by America has their residents speaking of America like this? How they're speaking about Denmark, how they're speaking about wanting to still be a part of Europe. Which one of the countries that we've exploited speaks so highly about us, how she's speaking so highly about the country that's supposedly exploiting her?
Yeah, I don't see Haiti talking about it.
It's Glay, we're living in is this what people mean when they say the Matrix? Like, we are living, this is not real, bro. You see remember that dude yesterday on the video when he brought up the chain? He was like, this fake Audemars, or the watch.
Yeah.
Said, hey man, this is a fake world we living in. Yeah. Like, is this what, like, this is, yeah. So clearly she's saying, look, we don't want, like, it doesn't matter. We don't want it. And now, are we going to respect that? Or do we go to phase 2, like Glay said?
Phase 2? Calling the troops.
Calling the troops. So this is, I believe they said that this was one of the
damn, that's there?
Yeah, they said thousands rally in Greenland's capital city, chanting Greenland is not for sale after President Trump doubles down on the U.S. initiative to acquire the country. The protest is reportedly the biggest demonstration in the nation's history. Oh, and I believe that was actually the former prime minister who was speaking.
Oh, PM. Yeah.
Yeah, but they wrote MP. I guess they write MP instead of PM. That's why I was a little bit thrown off. But yeah, so I guess that's her role. So let's see. Hold on. Yeah.
Somebody said Venezuela.
Yeah. Venezuela. No, that's not Venezuelans. That's Americans that are from Venezuela who speak highly about what Trump did. Based on the video that we put up of the actual Venezuelans, they're over here like, yo, what are y'all doing? We got no electricity. Y'all just took out our president. That's the people that are in America that the news decides to go in Doral and just go interview. So that's a select few of people who are in America saying that. Not people who are in Venezuela. I haven't seen a lot of these videos. I haven't seen a lot of their representatives saying this or their vice president saying this. So if y'all can show me those videos, then I'm open to seeing it. But the videos that most people are referring to of people speaking highly about the people that we've been exploiting, those are people that live in America, not people that are still in Greenland, especially not their representatives. So let's take a look at this. So they standing on it. All right, so they're making it clear.
Yeah,
they're making it clear.
Yeah, like people are talking about, do they speak for? I saw somebody say, does this lady speak for all people in Greenland? I'm like, well, they outside with it. In case you didn't notice.
I'm glad you said that, because as much as I talk about protests and stuff like that, like they're meaningless, like the protests that I've seen in America, I guess this is a representation, because people would be saying that same thing. Yeah. Will the prime minister represent the actual people?
Yeah. Well, they outside. They outside.
They're cold. It's probably pretty cold up there.
Yeah, it doesn't. Looks a little slushy. Mm-hmm. The elements don't look ideal, but they outside with what they believe in. So you take it up with those people outside about what they think. Don't argue with me in my comments.
Yeah. So it's just, if people gonna come up whatever rationalization they need to, and perhaps I would suggest that somebody who wrote that comment probably feels totally fine with Donald Trump speaking up for them. So does Donald Trump speak up for us? He seems to represent a whole lot of people like who can't free think for themselves. But I guess now when it's another country, we question whether that representative actually represents their country. So I guess you have
if we outside, we get it. But if they outside, well, they don't know what's going. Yeah, it's just like, okay, cherry picking situation.
Yeah.
We got a little super chat by Romulus Mars 1776. Shout out to you, Romulus. Shout out to you, bro. Guam is the most patriotic territory in the U.S.
Don't worry, Glay. I ain't know where it was either. I don't know if you knew.
I heard of it. I heard of it, and I think I've seen a couple movies, but I don't know where that name is.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, hold up, Guam. I real quick. That's why I just was looking up. I ain't gonna act like I knew where it was either. But it's in the Western Pacific Ocean.
Okay.
Yeah. So it says the largest and southernmost of the Mariana Islands, located about 15,000 miles east of the Philippines and 3,300 miles west of Hawaii.
Okay.
So I guess that's a threat to all those. I guess that's a threat to Asia. We just putting our mark in, just letting them know we outside. We surrounding y'all, but they can't take Greenland. Let me stop. I don't want to make it about that. You don't need a passport to go to Guam. I didn't know that. I mean, I guess if they're a U.S. territory, so I guess, show some videos of what the Guam. I'm interested to see how the Guam feel about America, how the people of Guam. So let's keep it moving. What will we go to next? What should we go to next? Yo, this is wild, Glay. So before we get into an interesting video that I saw about somebody criticizing the Miami mayor, I want to take a look at this. Let me close out these other pages real quick. So this is a Minnesota doctor. Now, I don't know whether or not this has been confirmed. It seems like a lot of white coats standing behind him. So I don't know if this is some representation of some of the doctors in Minnesota. But the statement is that I learned that Renee Good I guess he'll say it in the video. So we'll just take a look at the video.
This morning, I learned for the first time through an NPR story that Renee Good still had a pulse 8 minutes after she was shot by an ICE agent. And yet, the offer to administer aid from a physician on the scene following his Hippocratic oath was denied. I can't say how much that stirs the blood of everyone behind me here as we try to fulfill our obligation, our oath, and our duty to care for the people of Minnesota. And I believe it stirs the blood of every patriotic Minnesota who knows how we treat each other in this state. So that is what we are here to speak to today as healthcare professionals. This morning, I learned for the first time through an NPR story that Renee Good still had a pulse 8 minutes after she was shot by an ICE agent. And yet, the offer to administer aid from a physician on the scene following his Hippocratic oath was denied. I can't say how much that stirs the blood of everyone behind me here as we try to fulfill our obligation, our oath, and our duty to care for the people of Minnesota. And I believe it stirs the blood of every patriotic Minnesota who knows how we treat each other in this state. So that is what we are here to speak to today as healthcare professionals. This morning, I learned for the first.
Yeah, so they're claiming that had a pulse 8 minutes after she was shot. So when that ICE agent was walking to the car
truck to spin out of there.
And you know what I'm realizing with the majority of stuff? The majority of stuff is just culture. It's how certain things are done. Even when it comes to ICE and immigration and deporting people, I didn't even know that Tom Homan, who is the deporter in chief, or no, actually that was Barack Obama's nickname. Funny, ironically, but Tom Homan, who he was in the same, or he was. Let me show y'all this video, just so the video can explain it better. But I didn't know that was his head of ICE with Barack Obama.
The white guy, the white guy. Yeah,
I didn't know that it was the same person.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was the same person.
Only reason I think I remember him, if I'm not mistaken, I remember him when they were in Texas. I don't know if you remember a couple of years back when there were a bunch of migrants in Texas and a bunch of Haitians were coming through Texas and they were on horses with whips. Man, you don't remember that picture a couple of years back? And they were they were catching the migrants with on the back of horses, and they had like tying them up and like whips. And I believe he was a part of that. If not mistaken, he might have been in charge of that. And I think that's where I recognized him from before. I could be totally wrong, but I feel like I remember him during that moment.
So you telling me they were doing it like the rodeo?
Yeah. You know,
I don't remember that, bro.
Yeah, let me see. Haitians in Texas, because they had blocked. They had blocked one portion. Yeah, I got photos. Yeah, let me go ahead and But I think this is when I got established with that guy, and then I see him on TikTok all the time. When people just be posting the videos on him, and then you know, his energy, like, yeah, I'm that guy. Like, y'all ain't gonna touch me, y'all ain't gonna say shit. Like, and I'm assuming you probably got to be kind of like that for that job. Like, you can't really do that in good faith and good spirit. That's gonna be difficult. Like, if you got a conscience, it's gonna be a hard job. I don't care what side of the fence you are, but he kind of stand on that type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So let me see if I can show y'all my screen. Haitians in Texas, share. Okay, here you go. You see it, Glay?
Huh?
You see it?
You got to pull it up. Pull it up.
Yeah, you're right. Let's see.
I got you. There you go.
You got it. Okay, so y'all can kind of see here. Yeah, they were snatching them cats. Y'all see it? They were snatching them by the rodeo.
So these are Haitians coming through where?
Texas border, I believe, because there was another part that was blocked off and they couldn't get through, so they started migrating through Texas, and then this is how Texas handled the situation. You know, this the energy. You know, this the energy right here. You know, they were standing on the bridges, and yeah, they was crossing the waters here with their kids and stuff like that. It's a bad look, man. Yeah, this is how they was catching them, masked up, you know, and this is how they doing. They kicking them, trying to keep them, because I think once they cross that water, it's up. I don't know if they can do anything. So they was trying to keep them people over there.
Once you get across, you good?
I think so. I believe so. So this is a very tough. It's a very tough situation, man. When you see the kids, and you know, so you know, obviously, I understand the argument of the illegal, you know, but like, damn.
Yeah, and that's what I mean as far as the culture. A lot of this stuff is how it's being done.
Yeah.
People have a problem with, and it's like you said, it's tough because if there's rules, there's rules.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody violates the rules, I guess that's the whole conversation that we have with Renee Good. You know what I mean? It's like, to what extent can you now go to address the person that's violating whatever rule? You know, so it's yeah.
But you know, when we dig a little deeper, what's unfortunate, especially, you know, y'all know I got the soft spot when it comes to Haiti, but it's just like, damn, when you read and do your history research on how Haiti even got to a place where people were running out of there like this, and it's because of the exploitation of America again, then you like, damn, like y'all done took all their resources, and then they try to get up out of there, willing to risk it all. Then y'all put a boot in their face and tell them get the fuck out of. I'm like, damn, bro, y'all done robbed the country of everything they fucking had. Y'all done corrupted all the politics going on over there. The place is completely unstable. We know this if you do your research. And then look what y'all do to the people on top of it. I'm like, this nasty work. By the grace of God, my parents was able to get me over here. But this could have been me in any situation. My parents come from living in this environment. They come from the cap. My dad was born in the capital. My mom was born out in the mountains, and like, this is the vibe. So it's a blessing that they were able to tap in before shit got crazy. But like, we got family out there. My mom got a house out there. She can't even go out there. She said, bro, you can't go out there. They're gonna kill you immediately. Once they find out you're from America, they kidnap you and they put ransom up. And they won't get
when you go to Haiti, you're saying?
Yeah, if you go to Haiti right now, there was a famous YouTuber that just went out there just on some we want to go to Haiti energy, and they found out, kidnapped him, and they put like he from Atlanta, ironically. How about that? He from Atlanta, Indian guy, I want to say, and they put like $1 million on his head, and he had to call and tap in with all his family members and friends for them to pay him, and then that's how he got released. There is there's no politicians, there's no police force. Everything's just, it's run down.
I would recommend not going unless if that's the issue. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to
out of there. Don't even consider it. So it's just like, but then you look at like Dominican Republic, which is walking distance, completely different look. So you know this is some intentional energy. The Spanish people on one side, they were able to build a vacation style. They was able to build resorts, things of that there. Oh, the other side, nah, they effed that whole place up. And now look, these people fighting tooth and nail. So it's just like, it's tough, man. And then and what gets me even sometimes more upset is because like there are a lot of athletes here in like old boy down there in Miami, the boxer you was talking about him the other day. Berto, he Haitian, and there are a lot of Haitians that come here and really like got in their bag when it came to either acting or you remember the Martin show?
Yeah.
You remember the Fancy?
You talking about Jamie Foxx?
The Jamie Foxx show. Yeah, you're right. Fancy, so Jamie Foxx show. She Haitian. My dad said like that's our second cousin or something like that. But they don't really hold it down. Like I don't never really see the stand with Haiti or pull up or like, yo, we giving back. I don't really see nothing. So it's just like, damn, the people ain't even got no echo chamber. They don't even have no opportunity of speaking through the people that are here. And it's just like, damn, if you didn't make it out, it's just kind of is what it is. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. But my example for saying that is I think that's when I got hip with that guy from ICE. I think he was on this campaign of snatching people on the back of horses. So it doesn't surprise me. That's the energy that he on now.
Well, the point that I was making is that's the same guy. It's the same guy with Barack, but it's just the way that you go about stuff. But also, let me get back to Haiti though. With that, Haitians got to hold that down, bro.
Yeah.
Who you gonna go ask for help? When you go ask for somebody else for help, they're gonna ask for something in return, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
Rightfully so, perhaps. We're not living in a world where we feel like, people just feel the need to help others just to help others. Yeah, that help usually comes with a price. Let's look at us throughout the day. Most people ain't just doing stuff for free.
Mm-hmm.
So it's unfortunate, but almost for Haiti, my mindset on it would be they start asking people for help. They got to make sure they're asking the right people.
That's what
intentions.
That's what effed them up, because that first lineage of help, because remember, that's back when the earthquake happened around like maybe 2017, where they said like 100, 200, 300,000 Haitians died from that. All the infrastructure disappeared, so much disappeared. And you know who was first to step in and help, right? America.
Oh, they caused that earthquake. That was man-made. No, I'm just whatever.
I was like, something I don't know.
No. I just was joking.
Yeah. So when the earthquake popped off, I mean, America was looking for help with them forest fires over there. Yeah. I remember them. What was it? Mexico sent multiple regimes out to help during that situation.
Yeah.
When the forest fires and stuff like that. So it's just like, damn, where's I don't know. It's just like you said, like cats cherry pick when they want to help, when they want the campaign. But one day we hear about a $300 million donation to ban anti-Semitism, but then, Haiti, who y'all done bent over left and right. Oh yeah, y'all got to figure it out. It's just like, okay.
Yeah. And that's, yeah, so it's going to the comment. Did I put it up on the screen? Somebody wrote that Obama gave. That's the medal that I was talking about. I think I had it on the screen right here, where he gave Tom Homan a medal. And a lot of this stuff, like, people don't realize how many people Barack Obama deported. Like, Donald Trump just gets up in here, he gets on stage and stuff, and he talks about it in a certain type of way. And that's the perfect example of when you speak about it in a certain way, when you're pushing a certain energy, it's going to be seen by the people differently compared to somebody who may not be as brash and speaking about it. And like I just looked up the amount of people that ICE deported when Barack Obama was president. Let me just read this real quickly. So it says, for example, cumulative data show that Obama's administration recorded more than 3.1 million ICE deportations across his 8 years in office, with annual peaks over 400,000. By contrast, Trump deported fewer overall, about 800,000 in his first 3 years. And totals were well under Obama's, even though he pursued aggressive enforcement. So a lot of it's just the way that they're going about it. Because I didn't see any of these protests when it came to Barack Obama deporting all these people.
Yeah, I can't say I did also.
Yeah, 3.1 million. And actually, a lot of people that support Donald Trump, one of their biggest criticisms is the fact that he hasn't actually deported people. He's just been talking. So all of these masked people, clearly you didn't need all of that to do the deportations, because Barack Obama deported 3.1 million and we didn't see any of these people masked up. There weren't these big stories going out.
Yeah, there wasn't energy.
Yeah, maybe that these situations did occur, but I just weren't aware of them. So now it's like you got people masked up, and you got, what's the lady, Christy Nome, and all this. It seems like they're just making a movie out of all this stuff, and they're trying to just make it seem like they're doing something that they're not actually doing. Meanwhile, Barack was just like, we're going to make it seem like we're not doing it and actually do it. So it's just all over the place. It just goes to show you how amazing our political system is.
Is that back when I recall, like back in the day when there were some kids? Remember, there were like a lot of kid camps, or like there were a lot of children being held in like these camps in America that were supposed to get deported. And I remember just seeing pictures of like children sleeping on the floor, and they've been in these camps for so long. Is that back when Obama was around? Do you remember that moment?
Say it again.
So like there was a moment, I remember some deportation, but I remember they were deporting children specifically. And I think there was a point in time where there were these deportation camps where there were a lot
that was Trump, I think. That's what Trump. So that's actually, Fuentes just spoke on this. Actually, he was talking about how, I don't know if it was Stephen Miller or somebody, but Donald Trump actually stopped all that because it was given so much bad press. That's when they were talking about how he's separating parents from kids.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. But and the thing about all this stuff is, even when it came to the recent, I think there was a more recent situation where they were saying that a parent would be separated from a kid, and Tom Homan was speaking on it. And he's saying like, well, you have the right to take your kid with you too. We're deporting you, and we could deport your kid as well, but that's up to, you know what I mean? However y'all want to dice it. So a lot of times this stuff gets reported in a way where it seems like it's one thing, but it may not. I don't know. I don't know all the context around it, but you just can't go. If you can't go inside the club, you can't just figure out a way to sneak in the back door and then get upset when you get thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Michelle said, no, that was Obama, kids in cages.
Oh, well, I know it was with Trump too. It may have been both.
Too. I remember the Trump.
Yeah, it may have been Barack Obama. Mm-hmm. It may have been Barack Obama.
I do remember the Trump joint too. You talking about too?
Yeah, but I'm for sure that Donald Trump. Let me see.
He was on BS time too.
And Michelle, that's kind of the point that we're making. The fact that it's how you go about things, because nobody really remembers a lot of this stuff with Barack.
Mm-hmm. Like we're struggling right now trying to remember.
Yeah, and during the time, I don't remember it being such a big thing. Yeah. Barack Obama did a whole lot of stuff that he got away with, from the drone killings and all this other stuff. Like, and this is what we always talk about, how people, when you are a part of a gang, whether Democrat or Republican, you have a very selective memory. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see things through a very biased lens when you're actually going through it at that time. So then 10, 15, 20 years later, you don't recall it maybe as accurately as it actually happened. Mm-hmm. Like, we speak on Donald Trump with doing all this, committing all these atrocities or whatever it may be, Venezuela, this and that. Cool. Let's judge that accordingly to what he's doing. However, that energy was not extended to Barack Obama on a lot of the things that he was doing, because he was just seen as the nice guy. Mm-hmm. So, All right, so then they both had the kids in cages. All right, let's move on. Let's start off with this Jonathan Greenblatt. So Jonathan Greenblatt, he's the head of the ADL. Let's just watch the video. So the head of ADL, obviously the ADL is known for calling out a lot of people for anti-Semitism. I believe their website says that they focus on like calling it out like with everybody, but clearly they focus more on the protecting the Jewish community. And he had an interesting interview at this same conference. This may have been the same conference that we saw the clip from Miriam Adelson, Pam Bondi. I didn't know that they had all these Israeli conferences. I didn't know that these things took place as much as they do. I don't know if it's just my algorithm highlighting them more, but it's or maybe it's just because of what's going on in the world that they feel the need to show these conversations a bit more. But I'm definitely seeing them more often. But let's take a look at this video. Hold on, I'm sharing the wrong video. Hold on.
Michelle said Barack was being used. Oof.
Barack was being used.
Yeah, you said it.
I'm not a big Barack fan, yo, and that's probably to say the least. I'm not a big fan of Barack. I think Barack, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that he was being used. He was using us too. But take a look at this video.
So I think that the Jewish state of Israel has a degree of responsibility for Jews around the world and has to realize that the policy decisions in Israel have practical implications. And then we as Jews need to realize we have a commitment to Eretz Yisrael. We have a commitment to Medinat Yisrael. We as Jews in diaspora need to realize that the comfort that we enjoy, the privilege we enjoy, the acceptance and equality that we enjoy, in part is because of the state of Israel. I firmly believe that our success is related to our sovereignty. And I will tell you something else. Why do they hate us? Those countries, the names I just mentioned a few minutes ago, it's because of our sovereignty. They cannot tolerate the idea of Jews as equals. We are fine as long as we know our place. But those days are over. We do not need to be second-class citizens ever again. If you will, never again.
Is it okay if I pause it in the middle and then because this is a lot to address, a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Clay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. These the what I was gonna say. I'm not gonna lie. I've been around here almost 40 years, man. I never even thought Jewish people were going through what they are explained to, I guess, feeling like second-class citizens. I've never looked at Jewish people like that. I just look at them as another group of people that had their beliefs, et cetera, just as I look as a Muslim or anything like that. But I can't say I ever knew Jews was going through it. Did you know they was going through it?
Well, Unc wrote an interesting comment. He said, you do realize 40 years ago, most Jewish people in America were considered to be less than a Negro. I'm calling BS on that, Unc.
Oh, damn.
40 years ago, you telling me in 1986?
I didn't know that. My whole life growing up, I had no idea. But I could be sheltered. I could be ignorant, but I didn't know that.
I may be completely wrong, but let me venture out to wasn't born. I wasn't even born yet. But let me ask you a question, Unc. They may have been not liked, but that's a difference between considering less than. Black people are not even a threat. So therefore, I don't even understand why people have anger when it comes to a lot of this stuff when it comes to black people. It's like, we ruin ourselves. Like, we're not a threat to taking power. We're not a threat to controlling the government. Like, we're not anything when it comes to that.
Oh, I like this combo, Glad, because
people may have disliked Jewish people more, but as far as considering themselves less than, I'm calling BS on that. I'm calling BS on that. And hold up, So Unc said, look up the facts. It's just like the Irish people in America. They didn't white people didn't settle and said, oh, they're just like us. No, they were singing that song. You're not like Unc. Are you sure you're referring to 1986? I understand when Irish people first migrated here.
Yeah,
that's different when they were in the ghettos of New York. But we're talking about 1986.
Yeah, 40 years ago, bro, Jewish people were in the most affluent areas here in Georgia, where I live, where I grew up to school. I grew up in a predominantly immigrant area, but we were bused to a school in Dunwoody. Dunwoody is completely Jewish. The nicest places. They have their own. They have something called a Zabin Jewish Center, and when I remember being a younger kid, and it was I thought it was a place that you couldn't go there unless you were Jewish. This shit looked like a college campus. This had to be 20 years ago. So if we're speaking 20 years ago, they built this huge campus, and it was called a Jewish Center. And I asked my dad, can I go there? And I remember going with my boy. My boy was like, bro, you can come in here. It ain't like that. And I was like, oh shit. And we went in and we seen courts and bunch of Olympic pools, tennis courts, and daycare, day centers. And I was like, yo, it's like a YMCA, but it was like their own joint for the block. And I'm like, bro, Jewish people been kind of outside, stepping in their bag. I don't know what we talking about. They was treating less than Negroes, because I don't remember seeing a YBCA nowhere in America. So I'm just saying, from my experience here, which is obviously anecdotal, but I don't know, man. It just seemed like I guess I don't know. I don't have an ear to the streets outside of Georgia and Atlanta, but I can say here, bro, they was doing all right here, bro. Saturdays they were walking. That's when I learned that. I used to always ask my dad, I'm like, Dad, why do they walk on Saturdays? And he explained to me why. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, the whole neighborhood walking. I'm like, yo. And so now I go back, like if I go back to where I'm from Dunwoody area, all those houses, expensive, $1 million homes now. All those kids all go to top schools, University of Georgia, Georgia Tech, et cetera, et cetera. They got the pipeline going down. So that was me. I graduated high school in 2006. I'm telling you right now, in 2006, 2005, 2004, 2003, when I'm my 4 years in high school, they was not what we are saying they are now. They was just fine, stepping in their bag, kids going to school, private education, religious belief, synagogues outside on every corner. Then nobody fuck with the area. That was 20 years ago. So I don't know how they ever looked like they was worse than some niggas.
So they treating us like some nah. And Unc did say that he was talking more so with the 50s, so the 50s and the 60s. But think about this, Unc. So Unc said he's talking more so before that. So okay. But consider this, Unc. I think it's more so as far as people hating them. I don't really think that people hate black people like that. I think people just like look down on black people. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that there's really this intense hatred towards black people. I really don't think that. I think that it's like the team that you play against where you just like, damn, like they just can't get it together. Like, look at them. Like, man, don't hang out with them, man. They just gonna send you down the wrong path. Look at how they treat each other. Like, like, nah, stay away from them. You know,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong, because I recall my parents saying shit like that to me.
And I'm glad that you brought that up, because nobody probably says it more than other black people from outside the country.
Being honest.
Jamaicans, Nigerians, all of that. So I remember my boy was telling me that he was at Penn Relays. Matter of fact, Jan was telling me this, I think. And he was talking about they were running at Penn Relays, and there was a lot of the high school Jamaican teams there. And he heard the Jamaican coach saying, like, yo, don't go talk to them black boys. Like, stay away from those black Americans. Like, stay away from them. Like, it's hard for me to think that. I think that people don't like Jews. Let me be very clear. I think that most people don't like Jewish people because not only of their success, like success is one thing, but how they flex it, how they leverage a lot of their power, how they leverage a lot of their influence.
When I was young, I ain't know.
Yeah, so when a lot of these people, a lot of Jewish people speak out and say stuff like they hate us because of these reasons, because we're winning, because it's not just because y'all winning, it's the things that y'all doing, and it's the victimhood that you then combine. Like, bro, we see y'all winning. We see y'all flexing y'all muscle, but then y'all try to act like y'all black people or act like y'all whatever group of victims, you know what I'm saying? Like when it's convenient for you to hide your power. Matter of fact, Jewish people be trying to hide their power.
Like that's what he doing right now.
Yeah, right now.
He talking down on it.
Yeah, what is black culture? Get up on Instagram, act like you got more money. That's a rental. That's fake. That's this. That's not, you know what I'm saying? That's more black energy. And I think that when it comes to Jewish people, people just don't like Jewish people. That's why perhaps a lot of Jewish people have been kicked out of a lot of these countries, because they can come into a country and have success very early on. And with that success comes a lot of leverage. They're not willing to acclimate to whatever culture that they join. They got their own culture, and that's what they standing on. They working with each other. They prioritizing that. They putting their people first, and that's the energy.
Bro, I grew up with Jewish people, bro. Those were some of the nicest people in the world. Like my entire upbringing, my neighborhood, it was just Jewish people. Their families would let me over the house. Like we would go do things that, like, damn, they was just so cool. I didn't know there was this much smoke. I had no idea. I never had no issue. I ain't gonna lie. I'm standing on business, bro. The Jewish people always open their doors. Be like, is that Brian? Man, tell Brian he can come inside. He can stay over. I'm like, yo, these white. And where I was ignorant, bro, I just thought they was white. I didn't look at them as separate from white because I didn't know they looked at them as different from white. I didn't know they were their own category. So for me, and this shaped my reality. Dad, check that. I never been the person that like had issues with white folks because I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Like I grew up with a lot of white people. I went to school in college with white folk. Like, bro, I ain't got no problem with white folk. So this whole time I was around Jewish people, I just threw them in the white folks. Like, yeah, white folks is cool. What y'all talking about? It was Jewish people that were cool. It was Jewish people that were opening the doors. So if Cubans said they are white, I don't think they identify as white.
I don't care what you identify as. You're white. We're not playing that whole transgender, they, them. We're not playing those games. You're white.
They're white. The Jewish people are
bro.
white.
Like, what are we doing?
But what do they say?
Bro, bro. They're white. What does white mean? Do we need to let's define white? What does white mean?
I got you. Look, it ain't me.
What does white mean for you? White means of European descent, of what we think of as a Caucasian with a fair skin color or whatever skin color white people have, whatever you think of. You know what Jesus was.
Yeah. Look, I'm on your side.
Nah, all Jewish people are white, bro. And let me not say this. Let me rephrase that. The people that we see, the Israelis, there's black Jewish people. Amari Stoudemire's, I don't think Amari Stoudemire is white, but Jewish. Let me kind of back up. Jewish to me is a religion, so therefore anybody can be Jewish. But Jewish people try to make it seem like it's an ethnicity, so therefore you can tie it to an actual place, an actual land. You get what I'm saying? When you think of a religion, it doesn't give you a claim to any piece of land. But when you tie it to an ethnicity, you're American. Oh, okay, that's associated with a piece of land. If somebody says they're Christian, okay, well, what are you? You could be black, white, all these different things. So what I'm talking about is a specific group of people, the Ashkenazi Jews, which came from Europe, which were white people who now live in Israel. Those are the dominant people. Are there some black Jewish people in Israel? Of course. But I don't look at Jewish as a race. I look at it as a religion. So anybody can be a part of it. But I'm talking about the people who have tried to make it this ethnic group. They're white. They're European. The majority of them are just white European. If there are some black Jews like Amari Stoudemire or Indian Jews or whatever else, Ethiopian Jews, well, they're Ethiopian.
I thought you couldn't at one point be Jewish unless you were born into it.
No, that's it's supposed to be a lineage that traces down to from your mother. But there are a whole lot of people that convert to Judaism. And that's just, that whole mindset is keeping control of it as an ethnic group. That's why they're not out here trying to recruit people in a way like, let's say, like a Jehovah's Witness or somebody like that. Because it's like if you try to recruit people, then what does that take value away from? That takes value away from you claiming to be an ethnic group. You don't recruit people in to be black. You don't recruit people. Hey, you want to join up being black? No, it's your ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So therefore, it's all a play to me. It's all a play. It's all a play. But when we're referring to the people that currently are occupying the place called Israel, they're white. Bibi Netanyahu is white. He's Polish. So what makes somebody Polish? If you went to Poland right now, would you consider a white person in Poland white?
Yeah.
So why is he any different?
But what I'm asking, what are they? Is that what they push? Is that their narrative?
No.
Okay, that's why I wanted to know.
It doesn't give you a claim from 3,000 years ago when God apparently promised Israel land. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It has to be lineage, because when in the Bible, when it says God said be or bless Abraham and those who bless Abraham will be blessed, it has to be established through lineage, because their claim is that, oh, we are the descendants of Abraham. So therefore it's a lineage type of thing. So that's their claim. That's their claim to the land. If you remove that, you remove all of their claims. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like if it's just a religion, anybody can join. It's a frat.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's an ethnicity, no, we're born to this. That's what guarantees our lineage to this land. So, yeah, but let me get back to what I was looking up on here, because I think that it's a very interesting point that we should unpack as far as comparing Jews to blacks, because I think that a lot of Jews have made that comparison as well. A lot of these conversations have come up over the years where Jewish people have reached out to me and said, well, we're just like Jewish people. We're just like black people. We always shared the struggle. Knock it off, bro. Miss me with that. It's not the same. And y'all know damn well it's not the same. So you take advantage of being white when it's convenient for you to be white, but then when you want to play the victim and relate to the niggas, then we're Jewish. You know, we had to go through all. It's different. It's different. It's different. So, and it's cool that it's different. Everybody has their own struggles. Everybody has their own journeys. Let's just leave it at that. So in 1880 through 1924, that's when the mass migration of 2 million Jews came in. So mostly from Eastern Europe. I'm pretty sure that, well, let me not even go down that path. Let's just stay focused. All right. So mostly from Eastern Europe. So they settled heavily in New York, Chicago, Philadelphia. They entered the garment industry, the retail industry, small business, unions, education. This period is when institutional foundations were built, all these different things, right? Okay. So in the 1920s through 1940s, Jews were excluded from a lot of places. Excluded. Now, I don't think that their exclusion was the same way or the reason necessarily why black people were excluded, but let's lump them in the same category anyway. What Jewish people were able to do with their exclusion is do for self and use it as an opportunity. Let me get right back to it. Let me not make more of it than what it is. I don't know. Something just happened with the stream, but it's all good. So this is actually where I very much commend Jewish people and respect what they were able to do. Where black people were begging to go eat at restaurants that didn't want them to eat there, Jewish people like, okay, let's just use this to create and work with our own people. If you don't want to let us in that industry, if you don't want to let us in this school, okay, we'll build our own schools, focusing on making sure that even though y'all try to take opportunities away from us, we will still be successful. Black people, on the other hand, we got caught up in just begging white people, the same people that were quote unquote oppressing us, to free us from our oppression. So just like any other group where people think like in the Middle East that all the Arab groups get along. No, all of the Arab nations don't get along. So let's say where Israel can come into play, and this has happened in the Middle East, where Israel now may have a deal with one of the Arab nations because the enemy of my enemy, right? Well, shoot, I hate them a little bit more than I hate you. So let me help y'all out a little bit so then I can empower y'all to get rid of that type of thing. So going back to, and I know I'm hopping all over the place, going back to America, Jewish people were able to capitalize. We're able to capitalize on them being excluded from certain things in ways that black people weren't. What did Jewish people say when we looked at that video? Y'all waiting for somebody else waiting for this mythical figure to come back and save y'all. We are our own saviors. So this is something that I commend Jewish people for. Commend them 100% for. So this is when they were able to build Hollywood studios, independent finance, media, entertainment, law practices, real estate. So they were growing successful in the 1920s to 1940s, which actually black people were growing successful during that time period, a lot more successful than we are now in a lot of ways. And matter of fact, let me actually rephrase this. Black people initially were able to do this. I actually have to correct my last statement. Black people initially were able to do this. It wasn't until the whole Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement and pushing for desegregation where black people just lost control of their shit. Where black people, we valued white people so much more than we valued ourselves. We thought their ice was colder, their water tastes better. That what did we do? We had all of these black Wall Streets. It wasn't just in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had them because we were forced to have them. If you can't go to a white grocery store, you got to have a black grocery store. If you can't go to a white bank, you got to have a black bank. If you can't go to white doctors, you got to have black doctors. So we had all of these things that were set up very similar to Jewish people. We may not have been in Hollywood and other things of that nature, but when it came to our dollars circulating in our community, it was forced to circulate in our community. But then what did we do? We ended up begging white people to let us in, and we want to support your business. So now when we had desegregation, what did that do? Now black people, all the successful black people, they're moving out of the black neighborhoods, moving into the white neighborhoods. They instead of owning their own practice, they'd rather go work for a white company, and it destroyed the black communities. Meanwhile, Jewish people, they're like, we still gonna keep the same energy, perhaps maybe because they had more experience in dealing with getting expelled from this country, that country. So maybe their mindset was different. But black people, we just want to be accepted. Jewish people like, yo, we're going to keep that same energy because it benefits our community. So therefore, we're going to keep our dollars circulating in our community. We're going to keep running all this stuff. And not only are we going to keep running our community, we're going to actually go to other communities and sell to them as well and control their industries as well. We're going to control Hollywood. We're going to hire all these people. We're going to be behind the scenes in entertainment. So it was just a different mindset. But I don't think that anybody was really looking at Jewish people the same way, maybe after the civil rights movement. I think black people and Jewish people were more aligned before during segregation because black communities were very successful. It's the example that I always give is with the Negro Leagues. The Negro Leagues were more successful than the major leagues, but because black baseball players valued that white neighborhood, it's almost like when you take away something from somebody, they want it more. So instead of black baseball leagues saying, well, let's just bring some white people in here. White people were looking down on black people saying, we ain't playing for y'all league, even if y'all are more successful. Even if Satchel Paige does have a private airplane, we're not working for y'all. But what did black people do? Oh, we'll come work for you. We'll get spit on. We'll get spit on at baseball games. We'll get treated like shit. And all the black baseball players, the best black baseball players, they left and destroyed the Negro Leagues, all to uplift the major leagues. Black people just have a very inferior mindset, and it's shown ever since we tried to get out of this. The civil rights movement is what set it up initially. And that is why I always align more with Malcolm X, who was saying, nah, let's do for self. Let's keep our dollars circulating in our community. That's the only thing that protects you and gives you leverage. Case in point, the Jewish people. Meanwhile, MLK, Martin Luther King, he running around trying to, oh, can't we all just get along? Like all that mindset, begging people who don't like you to be a part of them. You'd rather be a slave to somebody else than be your own king in your own neighborhood because you value those people more than you value your own people. And who did they promote? Martin Luther King Jr. Because they realized that, oh, this is from an economic standpoint. We need these black people working for us. We need them a part of our organization. We need them a part of our industries. What are Americans fighting for right now when you see Donald Trump, the reason why he's bringing in all these H-1B visas? We need people that will work for less than what Americans will work for. Wealthy people have figured out that, hey, our biggest benefit is being able to have cheap people that we can hire for labor. So just like Donald Trump wanted to bring in that cheap labor, it's no different than why white people decided to desegregate. It wasn't just because they said, oh, well, we just value black people. We want to all get along. No, it was all a play, just like Branch Rickey. Branch Rickey, I don't think was trying to sign Jackie Robinson just because he all of a sudden liked black people. No, it was a business move. It was a business move. But black people, we get caught up in the emotions of all of this stuff, thinking that people like us and that they're doing it because they like us. And that's why we consistently vote for Democrats, even though it's hustling backwards and voting for the very same people that put policies out that destroy our families more than anything else. So we're not the same.
Glad I didn't know any of this.
We're not the same, bro.
I didn't know none of this. I ain't know none of this.
Black people are embarrassing, bro.
I got you back on that one again today. I see. I did not know any of this. I didn't know it was a play. I didn't know that MLK was a play.
MLK is not like if somebody's elevating somebody so much, why? Why are they elevating MLK? Why do they have to demonize Malcolm X? Why is J. Edgar Hoover, the head of the FBI, saying that Malcolm X could be the next black messiah? Why is that such a threat to you? What's wrong with a black messiah? We got a white messiah, right?
Wow.
Like what? Like all of this stuff, bro. So this is another reason why I get upset that I even got to call out my Jewish brothers and sisters. I like, damn, I miss y'all. Like, yo,
damn, I didn't know this.
Yo, they just standing on stuff more than other people now. Like I said, I don't like it goes overboard. You know what I'm saying? Like when you sending people to people's homes just because they're writing a social media post that you don't like. Nah, I got to call that out. But yeah,
I did not know any of this shit, bro.
As far as what though?
Well, I definitely didn't know. I definitely didn't understand why. See, I always thought that they did when white people, like, I always hear like the Tulsa massacre and things like that. I was like, oh damn, black people was trying to do that, but then they just burned that motherfucker down. So I'm like, shit, they probably, yeah. Well, go ahead.
No, there were Black Wall Streets everywhere, bro. That's just the one that gets hyped up. Think about how else would like that's the best way to the things that black people fight for now. We need to unite. They forced it. Desegregation destroyed black people more than anything else. Look at how our dollar circulates the least amount in our community.
Yeah,
I don't you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Compared to these other communities, we have no pride. We have no pride. We've been broken. And perhaps this is the reason we're the descendants of generations upon generations of broken people. So I don't know how this was sold, and maybe the grass is just greener on the other side. So you get to a point where it's like, damn, you got super successful neighborhoods. Why do you feel the need to still, like, those people don't feel the same need to shop at your stores that you feel they need to shop at theirs? Why do you feel that need so much? You're already successful. And then what ends up happening is when there's desegregation, I didn't see white people running to go live in black neighborhoods. I didn't see white people, oh my God, now we can eat at black restaurants. They could have always ate at black restaurants.
Yeah.
Eating at black restaurants.
They don't be at them now.
So it's I just, yeah, all of this stuff, bro, like it's just a limited mindset. That's why I don't, when they say, well, Jews control the music industry and they're forcing the rappers to say, bro, you don't force a grown man to do anything. Giving a grown man money and them agreeing to do something is not forcing them to do anything. I don't care what background they come from. I don't care what poverty they come from. It's a decision that you make. You can go work at 7-Eleven. You can go work at the corner store, or you can go to school. You can go to college. You could do whatever it is that you want. But you living in poverty is never an excuse to sell out your community. But who do we celebrate? Who do we glorify? Like Jay-Z, like he's some sort of hero. Jay-Z got an opportunity from selling dope to the community, selling poison to the community, and that's who we put on a pedestal. We want to watch shows about BMF, Big Meech. What, like that's our heroes? That's who we're glorifying?
Damn, I'll be watching
But then we say Ben Carson, oh, he a sellout, he a coon. But Big Meech, he a real nigga. Damn. Come on, bro.
Power, I'll be watching that too, y'all.
I stopped, bro. I had to stop. And 50 is my guy. I love 50. But I had to stop, bro. I had to stop watching all that goofy stuff, bro. I had to stop. It started with Empire, then it's like the Powers, and I'm like, yo, why? Like, what? Like, damn, every single, like, is that just the formula for black success when it comes to TV shows? Just put some nigga shit out, and that's what we just like, you know what I'm saying? It just draws everybody in.
Scandal.
Yeah, like put 50 Cent. Why don't you make a documentary about the Jewish mafia? I want to learn about that. Oh, they won't. Oh, they're not having that. Respectfully, I can't get mad at them for saying, nah, you ain't putting that out there. I can't get mad at them shutting that down. Perhaps we should have some of the same energy when it comes to Jay-Z. Why isn't he shutting down? Nah, we're not doing drill rap no more. Just like you went up there and said, oh, taking a knee, we're beyond that. Aren't we beyond putting out drill rap, putting out music that's just selling drugs to the community, demonizing things, having our women up here dressing like whores, thinking that that's freedom? All this type of energy that you putting out. Like, don't you feel some type of obligation and responsibility to step in and say, nah, this ain't the way that we do it. This is not what we're doing. But instead, with Jay-Z, he got his 40-something-year-old wife out here with her titties out, taking pictures, thinking that that's something that should be celebrated. Oh, did we even finish the video? And Cubis wrote another thing. My fault. Romulus, first and foremost. My apologies. Yeah, Romulus. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Look up the Moynihan report. They did the opposite. If you could explain in a little bit more detail, I'll definitely look it up. But if you want us to respond, I don't know the Moynihan report, so I can't really.
I'll look it up while you talk.
All right, but Cubis wrote, but not all Jews are Zionists. This should be noted. Yeah, but not all cops are bad cops either. Not all ICE agents are bad ICE agents. But when the good ones don't stand up and speak out, then it kind of, what do we say about that? What do we say about, yeah, not all black people are King Von in Chicago. Not all black people are West Coast gangbangers in LA. But when that's the dominant culture represented, then we know how this works, bro.
Okay, Dak. So it says the Moynihan report argued the black family battered and harassed by discrimination is the fundamental source of the weakness of the Negro community.
Say it again. The black family. Hold on, Glay. Hold that point real quick. Hold that one point, because I just want to address this. Not all Jews are Zionists. You know who says that all Jews are Zionists? Not us. We didn't finish the video that we're going to finish with Jonathan Greenblatt. Jonathan Greenblatt said that. The head of the ADL, perhaps the strongest Jewish organization in America, he says that all Jewish people are tied to Zionism. Not me. And we'll finish that and you'll see the video. So that's not me saying that. So perhaps Jewish people should address Jonathan Greenblatt, because he says it in the rest of this video. But we'll take it. But Glay, now say what you were saying as far as with the Moynihan report.
Yeah, I kind of want to see the rest of this video now. The Moynihan report argued that the black family battered and harassed by discrimination is the fundamental source of the weakness of the Negro community.
Bullshit. I'm calling BS, bro. We were successful. Like, this is why we got to do our research and history. Like, we look at Jim Crow as just, oh, they were hanging niggas, so therefore everything was terrible. We were getting married at I think a higher rate than white people were getting married. We were becoming successful. Now, a lot of that may have been pushed on us, but our great grandparents, that when we were living during those times, they were forced. What is the saying? Hard times create strong men create easy times create weak men. Those hard times created some strong men that realized, hey, we can't rely on white people. They won't let us go to their stores. They won't let us. So we got to do for self. But then at some point, some person led whatever movement to sell us out and to compromise us and give all those things up. But we already had that. You can't sit back and just blame being battered and everything, because this is what I respect when it comes to the Jewish community. When something happens to the Jewish community, they use it as a rallying cry to unite and become more successful. But then black people, unless you're just making the argument that we're just inferior, we could have used the same thing in order for us to unite and become successful. We are still here. What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. What is the only thing that black people do in America? All we do, we think that us being freedom fighters is voting Democrat whenever there's a presidential election. We put our little sticker on, just voted. We take a goofy ass picture and we post it on Instagram as if we just are. Now we're MLK. We're Rosa Parks. We're freedom fighters now. No, you just voted for the same party that you've been voting for that hasn't done a damn thing for you, and you're dumb enough to expect a different result. And I'm not calling everybody who votes Democrat dumb. I'm just saying it seems like a silly thing to do and to expect something different. Go ahead, Glay. Oh, hold up. So Romulus, excellent point. Moynihan argued that breaking the black family would break it. Well, what's funny about this is when we suffered all these atrocities, getting hung, it actually brought the black family together. We had more kids. We were a tighter knit family. We didn't feel the need to, as soon as we turned 18, I just want to get out the house and all this other stuff. What broke the black family was Lyndon B. Johnson and his social programs. What broke the black family was Joe Biden and Bill Clinton with the crime bill, removing black fathers from the household. Those aren't conservative things. That's what broke the black family. That has nothing to do with getting hung or anything else like that. If anything, when they're lynching black people, wouldn't that bring the black family together? We separate so much right now because we have all this privilege in America, because we've had all these easy times making such weak men, and we have such weak leadership in our communities, where we'd rather beg white people to fix our problems rather than us just saying, hey, we could probably just fix this on our own.
You're in your bag with this one, Glay. I heard all that.
Let me finish the video, because this is what everybody's argument. Well, not all Jewish people are Zionists. Tell your mans that. Tell your mans that.
I think we as Jews need to recognize that our actions have consequences, our words have resonance, and we need to reaffirm our relationship to the state of Israel. And the only way we win, the only way we defeat the scourge, I think there are just three things. Number one, again, identity. Going on offense means preserving and reaffirming our Jewish identity. And you cannot take the Zion out of Jewish identity.
I didn't say it, Glay.
You didn't say it, Glad.
I didn't say it, Glad. I talk about the culture. Your man said you can't take. Do we need to repeat it? Hold up.
Going on offense means preserving and reaffirming our Jewish identity. And you cannot take the Zion out of Jewish identity.
You can't take the Zion out of Jewish identity. Oh, when it's convenient for you, you want to align with it. But then when it's some evil going on and they're committing a genocide, not all Jews are Zionists.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
That's the energy?
I guess so. I don't know. I guess so. Let's finish up this video, though.
This is one of the things that our enemies tell us. You know, there's this new idea, this ridiculous idea, diasporic Judaism. Diaspora is a condition. It's not an aspiration. Right? There's a reason why every Siddur in every shul on the planet Earth, on every page, says something about Yerushalayim or Yisrael or Zion. Because you cannot take the Zionism out of Judaism.
Are we doubling down?
No, that sounds like a double.
That sounds like a double. All right.
That's Zionism didn't start with Theodore Herzl. Zionism started not with Bibi. It started with Moshe Rabbeinu. It didn't start in 1948. It started thousands of years ago. So
was that a triple down?
That's a triple down, Glad.
You ever just wake up and feel like you were born in the wrong skin color? Now, let me stop.
Slick shooting. Come on, cuzzo.
Nah, let me stop, man. I'm lucky there's only 35 people in here, bro. They would be clipping these things up like, look at this coon. Look at this coon.
Y'all did say Dak gonna catch that flight.
Hey, we heading out, bro. Let me call up my mans and tell him, yo, I changed my mind, bro. I'm back, bro. I'm back with the team. What we need to do? Like, oh, man. What's up, Glade? Hold on. Let me play this last video. So this is somebody who I believe he's running for governor against Byron Donalds, who I no longer support Byron Donalds in the government race in Florida, based on the things that I've seen and the money that he's taken. And I don't support him. I don't care if he's black. I don't care what I don't support him anymore. And I like Byron. Let me be very clear. I like Byron, but I can't support that, bro. I can't support that. It's bigger than liking somebody. I'm not a child. I can't just vote for somebody that I like. What do I look like? Voting for somebody just because Barack Obama says nice? No, I'm not a child. I'm an adult. I can't just vote for people because I like them. Let me take a look at this. And the flip side of that is maybe I shouldn't just, well, never mind. Share this tab instead. We live, Glay?
We live.
All right, we live.
How can a governor vindicate free speech?
Well, in this particular case, what I would do as governor is I would use my powers vested under Article 4, Section 7A of the Florida Constitution and immediately remove the mayor of Miami Beach for dereliction of duty, for essentially using his office to politically pursue someone who merely disagreed with him on the internet. But I think it's a bigger part of something that you and I, Matt, have talked about for a while, which is Republicans and Democrats not teaming up to fight for higher wages or stopping the Great Replacement, but teaming up to combat anti-Semitism. Look, we all agree that all forms of religious hatred should be condemned, but that does not give you the right to snatch our free speech rights in the name of protecting anti-Semitism or defending against it. You're allowed to criticize Israel Netanyahu. You're allowed to call him a war criminal. We're allowed to do whatever we want in this country. It's called the First Amendment, and as Florida governor, I'll always defend that.
How can a governor vindicate?
I don't know who bro is. They trying to get him shut down, though.
Oh yeah, he's speaking a different way.
Yeah, we don't like your energy. Like, we don't like your energy, and you see how he noted in section 4 or 6 of the like,
don't play with him.
Hey, all right. So one more. Matter of fact, we'll do one more. So this actual video. This is Michael Knowles. So for a lot of people that may not be familiar with Michael Knowles, he's a part of Daily Wire, which is Ben Shapiro's platform. Daily Wire. That's what Candace Owens was on, actually. So he's a part of their organization, but he had some interesting things to say in this video where he supports Israel, but doesn't think that they're entitled to the land because of any promise that God made. He doesn't believe in that, but he still supports. So there's just, I think, an interesting combo to unpack here. I think it's an interesting combo to unpack. So let's get into this video. Especially there's no way that Ben Shapiro, his boss, is going to like hearing this. I don't know when this clip came from. I see the Christmas trees and stuff in the back. So maybe it was a few weeks ago. Maybe it was from even earlier than that. But nonetheless, I think it's an interesting combo.
The Vatican in 1985 says, the history of Israel did not end in 70 AD. It continued, especially in a numerous diaspora, which allowed Israel to carry to the whole world a witness, often heroic, of its fidelity to the one God and to exalt him in the presence of all the living, citing Tobit, while preserving the memory of the land of their forefathers at the heart of their hope. And the reference is the Passover Seder. So here, the Vatican is writing not about the church as the new Israel, which is what Christians have always held, but is writing specifically about the terrestrial and figurative Israel of the Jews. And he's saying, the Jews went all about this world. They didn't just end in 70 AD, and they've carried this witness, which is often very heroic, and they do have some connection to the land. However, here's the key. Christians are invited to understand this religious attachment, which finds its roots in biblical tradition, without, however, making their own any particular religious interpretation of this relationship. And then, just to underscore the point, the existence of the state of Israel and its political options should be envisaged not in a perspective which is in itself religious, but in their reference to the common principles of international law. Bingo. Love this. This is exactly what the patriarchs are reaffirming from Jerusalem, and it's totally right. And this is why I would not call myself a Zionist, or a Christian Zionist, or any other kind of Zionist. It's not because I don't like the Jews, and it's not because I don't even support the state of Israel. As I think I've made clear, I am broadly supportive of the nation state of Israel, but I am broadly supportive of it not because I believe in the principles of Zionism, which makes certain historical claims and religious claims that I just don't think are true. I don't think that the Jews are entitled to the Holy Land because of some religious premise. I don't think that's true. In fact, being Christian, I believe that the Old Testament is fulfilled in the New Testament. Christ is the new covenant, the fulfillment, everything that was typified in the Old Testament is fulfilled in Christ and the church as the new and spiritual Israel. So I don't buy those religious premises, and I don't believe just because a people was on a plot of dirt 2,000 years ago that means they're entitled to it today. If that were the case, we'd have to turn the Black Hills we'd have to turn Mount Rushmore over to the Lakota Sioux. I don't believe any of that.
Or all of
yet,
America.
I am broadly supportive of the nation state of Israel because I don't like the alternatives. I don't like the idea of giving Iran more power in the Holy Land. I don't think the Muslims have been particularly protective of the holy sites. Sometimes they've been better than others, but the Ottoman Empire doesn't exist anymore.
Can we stop it right there?
Yeah.
This man just said that he doesn't believe that they're entitled to it based on anything that God gave them. He also doesn't believe that if they were on the land 2,000 years ago, that gives them the right to the land. He referenced the Black Hills Mountains. That's actually what we were talking about before, where that was a piece of land where there was a treaty with the Native Americans. It was a very spiritual place, and America found out that there was gold there. They had a treaty, and they just violated the treaty, started digging for gold, and then put up Mount Rushmore, just disrespecting the Native American spiritual land. Wild. Yeah, you should look into that. Well, that's what Mount Rushmore is. It was a very spiritual place for, I think it was the Sioux. I think it was the tribe. I think it was the Sioux.
Sioux.
Yes. It was the Sioux, and it was a very spiritual place. They had a treaty that said, like, hey, you could have that, but this is a very spiritual place for us. Don't touch. They found out that there was gold there. They violated the treaty, dug for gold, and then created Mount Rushmore. Very disrespectful. Now, the point, so when it comes to what he's saying, though, he's saying that the only reason why he's supportive of Israel is because he doesn't like the other people around that area. Like that, this is insane, bro. Their entire argument for having that piece of land is that God gave it to them, is that we were here 2,000 years ago, which is, both arguments are crazy to me, but I don't want to, whatever. But he's saying pretty much, this is the mindset. This is a colonizer mindset, bro. Well, we don't like the other people there, so therefore, we'll just rock out and support Israel. I don't know how you operate a world based on these principles, bro.
Yeah, we know this is everybody coming to the game with different cleats on.
And then we wonder why they look at America as the big Satan, or whenever I try to do a Bibi Netanyahu voice, it sounds sounds more Russian though, or it sounds more. It doesn't sound like Bibi. Like Israel is kind of like New York mixed with Russian. That's how it kind of sounds like to me. Like that, whatever. But yeah, that's what Bibi Netanyahu says. So bro, this is colonizing energy, bro. This is colonizing energy, bro. And then the question is, like, why are Israelis, like, why do you like Israelis more compared to the other people? Oh, well, they've committed atrocities. Okay, well, have you called out the current atrocity? Like, everybody wants to lump all the Muslims in one category, or lump this group, this Ottoman Empire. Like, what about holding Israel accountable to those same standards? Israel continues to violate, bomb a lot of these countries, bro. A lot of these countries. For what? They're literally, their existence is based on ethnically cleansing an entire group of people, and not only ethnically cleansing them, but we have to understand that it's a violation. I think it was after World War II. Remind me of this. What's the, what were the laws? I know Unc is aware of this because we've discussed it before, where after World War II, they came out with different international war rules where you can't, like, if we beat Greenland, let's say we go to war with Greenland and we win, that doesn't give us the right to take the people's private property. You know what I'm saying? And if the people leave because, okay, this is considered a war zone, and the people leave, they have to be allowed to come back. So when Israel won that war, whatever, was given that land, cool. Not only did they not allow the people to return, but they also took the homes of the private citizens. And then when you add on the fact that a lot of these private citizens, Palestinians, were people that actually took you in when you were getting kicked out of other countries, it's just a wild way to look at things, bro. It's just a wild way to look at things.
Yeah, they said they're gonna win by any means, bro.
Yeah.
That's the energy they on. They don't give a damn.
Yeah. So that's just the world that we're living in right now. And maybe the more we call this stuff out, it'll kind of like have people sitting back like, what? Like, that's really what happened. And these are the things. How do we not learn about, how do we know everything? How do we learn about the Holocaust, but we don't learn about what Mount Rushmore was? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I never heard of that.
The victor writes history. So the majority of history that we learn, we know it's all skewed. Just listen to your man tell a story. Your man get into a fight. Let him tell a story compared to somebody else who he was fighting, telling his man what happened.
Yeah.
You're going to hear two completely different stories.
That's true. That's true. That's a good point.
So it's the same thing with this in history, bro. It's taught to us in a way that it was very strategic, very convenient, and probably more I should lean on the strategic because they knew that it would indoctrinate and give people the mindset or the teaching, condition them in a certain way that was beneficial for the people in power, rather than us looking at America like, yo, y'all did this? Like, damn, it don't even seem. And then this when they always talk about this whole right to exist. How? Somebody break down how Israel has the right to exist, or how most of these countries have the right to exist. Is it just might equals right? If I'm strong enough to take your stuff, I can take it. Because how else? What is the justification for saying that Israel has the right to exist? All I hear is, well, God gifted Israel that land, or well, we were here 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. Michael Knowles just said he don't subscribe to any of that, but still, as a Christian, he's still supporting them.
No, it makes sense.
You got the breath work today, Glay.
No, I got a meeting at 10, actually.
You got a meeting at 10. All right, so get up out of here. We'll see you tomorrow.
Damn, nigga, you ain't had to. Golly.
Which is 9:57.
I didn't even finish.
Oh, go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, all right, bet. Good luck. I'll see you.
You got a meeting or not? Yeah. We're gonna let everybody say good luck. What's the meeting? It's good business meeting.
Somewhat. I mean, linking up with my old training mentor, so I'm chopping up with him a little bit. I ain't seen him in a minute.
Dope. See what's out there. Yeah, it's good. Those type of meetings are good. Mm-hmm. Get the wheels, get the juices flowing. Yeah. All right, get the fuck out of here. All right, we go. All right, so y'all know what it is, man. We gonna finish up, wrap up. I didn't mean to stop so abruptly, but I got to make sure that I go do some work, because all of this talk that we've been doing on these topics, I got to make sure that I'm making some money. So it is what it is on that note. Oh, man. Can't we just jump on the show and talk about good things? Can't we just talk about good stuff and talk about how rap and hip hop is so fun, and talk about sports, and just talk about, I don't know, talk about the latest TikTok trends? But this is what we're called to do. So it is what it is. All right, so let's get to it. Of course, after every show, make sure that y'all like. Do me a favor, like. We're getting ready to walk into the most important part of the show, getting our breath work. My guy. And I always say my guy, and I always say, like, I don't know whether it's a guy or a girl, but just based on like the energy, I just feel like I can tell it sometimes. HCB chemistry, bro. I be seeing you on them comments of those when I do the Fuentes reviews. So definitely I see you. So much love. It's appreciated. It's definitely appreciated. What Dutch say? Hold up. Dutch said, like Frank Ocean said, it's a bad religion. You got to give me some more context, man. We can't just be, I'm done criticizing religions for the day. And I don't even think I was criticizing religions. I'm criticizing behavior, right? I'm not criticizing you, the person. I'm criticizing how you're playing today. You know what I'm saying? That's what the coaches used to tell us. Not criticizing the person, just the player and the play on the field, you know? Love y'all. Love you too, Mama Lay. Love you too. All right, so let's get into our breath work. Like I said, do me a favor, like. We're going to do our box breathing. Shout out to our big bro, Steve. He introduced this breathing technique to us. That is very helpful for me. Hopefully it's helpful for y'all. What we're going to do is a 4-second inhale, focusing on inhaling positive energy, empowering energy, uplifting energy. And then we're going to do a 4-second hold, followed by a 4-second exhale, getting rid of all that negative limiting energy. Anything that's holding us back, any distractions, let it out. 4-second hold. We're going to repeat that 3 more times, finishing for a total of 4 cycles. So if you're in a safe place, feel free to close your eyes. I think it hits a little bit better that way, but to each their own. So we're going to start with a 4-second inhale. Ready, begin. Hold. Release. Hold. Inhale. Hold.
Release. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Release. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Release. Hold. We're going to go through one more time because I done definitely messed up the count. Inhale, positive energy. This is the last one. Make it very intentional. Go. Hold. Keep holding. We're getting ready to release the last remaining bit of that negative. Anything holding you back, distractions, get it out of there. Go. Hold. All right. Y'all know we come here to do elevate on purpose, both from an intentional standpoint as well as raising our standards. All right. As what? Did I mess it up? No, I didn't mess it up. For some reason, it sounded like I said something differently. In the back of my mind, I was clowning, laughing at BK, saying the same thing that I said. But yeah, y'all know we come here to do, man. Elevate on purpose, as well as being very intentional with raising our standards to become the best leaders we can become, as well as growing into the people that we need to become in order to accomplish these audacious goals. And when we talk about growing into certain people, a lot of times that involves breaking down a lot of the things that we currently are in order to then unlock, whatever can get us to that next step and grow into that next area. But a lot of times we got to free up the space and break down a lot of these negative things that we may need to improve on. And everybody, that's going to be a personal decision. We all know what we need to work on. So let's just be proactive with it. Strength and honor, onward and upward. Let's get to that bag. What is the bag? That's all the things that we're doing throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, that a lot of times we think of the little things, but ultimately add up into what our overall impact on this world is going to be, that we like to call our personal legend. We want to make sure that we're moving on the right trajectory as we're living in our purpose, striving for that purposeful abundance. All right. The goal is to bring peace and harmony. Let's shoot to achieve this greater peace. If we can be peaceful, even amongst debates in this conversation, in this group where we have people literally tapping in throughout the country, throughout the world, really, why can't we ask of that from society? Why can't we allow that to be the dominant culture? Why can't we do a great job of marketing that? It feels a lot better. I think people will embrace it, but that's on us to make sure that we're getting the message out there by any means necessary. So the things that are in my bag that I like to focus on: peace, love, happiness, health, wealth, and in everything we do, integrity. Always got to add a bit of that balance on there. And like Glay likes to sprinkle some perspective on it, or a lot of perspective. Maybe we need to lead with perspective. So on that note, I'll let y'all go, man. Let's figure it out, man. We figuring this out as we go. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Trust me, it's always appreciated. Let me, always give me some good words to end the show on. So let's go to Unc. The strength to take away the property that does not belong to take earth, but to take a positive life brings positive thoughts. To be passive aggressive only leads you to conflict. So the strength to take away the property that does not belong to you, to take the earth, or do not belong to take the earth, but to take a positive life brings positive thoughts. To be passive aggressive only leads you to conflict. I understand what you're saying, Unc. I got you. And I know I'm reading it crazy. My fault about that. Cubist, man, definitely make sure that you tapping in, man. Definitely make sure. And I know that you probably already had to leave, but definitely appreciate you as well, bro. We'll see you soon. Hopefully tomorrow. Finn, big bro, always comes through. Most people are addicted to living in their own mind instead of actually having the courage to improve who they are. Act every day. Get things done. OG, this is what we stand on. This is what we stand on. I saw this Kobe interview the other day and it had me locked in. I miss Kobe Bryant so much, man. I miss Kobe so much. And he was just saying, somebody asked him what the Mamba mentality is. And it's just maximizing your potential, striving to become the best version of yourself. That's all we're here to do.
That's all we're here to do. And I think when we strive to become our best selves, we realize that a lot of that includes us working together with each other, pushing more positivity than negativity. So Unc said, find the peace within yourself to love thy neighbor. If you're religious, you would understand hatred is only something that man teaches a next man in order to be able to say that they have the strength. I'm with you, Unc. I'm with you, Unc. Oh, that's a good one. Scariest place to be is the same place as last year. Always be on the road to a better you. Scared to death of it, big bro. Scared to death of it. We were talking about you yesterday. We were gonna go to the gun range and just shoot a little bit. And my dad was like, he was talking to my brother, my big bro, and he was saying, he's like, yeah, what you need to do is come with us down to see Steve and Michelle. So definitely can't wait to link back up with you and Professor. And yeah, man, I love y'all, man. I appreciate everybody. Unc sent the flags. Phyllis sending love. Much love, G. You're invited to Cali anytime. I'll pull up. I was telling my mom yesterday, we were sitting down at the pool and we were talking, and she's like, well, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna renew this lease? And I'm like, Mom, we finna travel. I said, my mom, I'm gonna have her jump on tomorrow and confirm this if she's up or if she comes down and wants to be on camera. But I told her, I said, all of these people, you see the family that we got in the chat? I said, I want to go around and visit everybody. Like, y'all don't want to come? I told my mom this yesterday. So we're going to start pulling up. So have those couches ready. We'll get a hotel, but we'll pull up. Have the couches ready for us to come pull up and have some conversation. And in Cali, we'll do a little back. Hopefully we can do something outside. Maybe do some, I love the weather. When I think of Cali, I always think about just doing dope stuff outside. So whatever it is, we're going to come to see Michelle in Kentucky. We're going to come across the pond to see Finn. Who else? We got Samira, she is San Diego. Where else? Who else volunteering and opening up their doors for us? But on that note, let's get out of here. I'm already talking y'all heads off. We got the fire emojis from Finn. We got the fire emojis from Unc. Unc said, I got a bedroom for the family too. So yeah, we just gonna be pulling up, man. Y'all know what it is. Love my OG chat crew. Y'all have a great day. Appreciate it, big bro. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 8 a.m. Ew.